The voice of domestic workers.
Migrant domestic workers in the UK are excluded from many national laws. They are the only group of workers who are not allowed to renew their overseas domestic worker visa. UK government vowed to end the barbaric evil of modern slavery and trafficking, but tying domestic workers in 6 months visa system is slavery. Let's hear the story of some of the members of the Voice of Domestic Workers.
In 2018, I came here with my employer and her 3 children on a visa for domestic workers in a private household, which is valid for 6 months and cannot be renewed. I had to work 13 hours per day but had no days off. The children needed full-time attention. Unaware of my rights, I thought these hours and my small salary were normal here, because the suffering and abuse were the same as I had experienced in Saudi. I couldn't ask people because I was not allowed to talk to anyone. My every step was monitored. The thought of being sold again and other people harming me was frightening. One day, the police approached me at the children's school, requesting that I come to the station to answer some questions. Someone had told them I was being abused. I told them that I couldn't stay long because my employer would expect me. I told them everything about the treatment by my employer. They told me about the National Referral Mechanism, a framework for identifying potential victims of modern slavery. I asked myself, am I a slave or a modern slave? I received a positive reasonable ground decision on my NRM case, meaning I could stay in the UK while my case was ongoing. I found a new employer. When the lockdown started in March, I became lonely and traumatized again. My employer threatened me, telling me if I left the house, do not come back. I had no choice but to stay in my employer's household, or else I'll be jobless and homeless. For 2 months I worked unpaid. My employer couldn't withdraw money from the bank and has now deducted £200 from my monthly salary. To continue supporting my family, I am working 105 hours a week, including during my days off, for 400 or 3.80 per hour. While locked up during this pandemic, I received a negative conclusive decision in my NRM case. I am scared if I overstay, I will be arrested and deported back home, unprepared, financially and unstable emotionally and mentally. Fellow domestic workers in my situation have become undocumented. We have tried to be lawful, but it seems there is fire wherever we step. Where are these 3 P's? Prevention, protection, and prosecution of the modern slavery act. Why I am at risk of prosecution, not the employer who abused me.
The pre-2012 Overseas Domestic Worker Visa. With right to change employer, right to renew visa, right to settlement and right to British citizenship, is the important protection against modern slavery, forced labour and trafficking.
If the government response to the abuse and exploitation is for domestic workers to apply in the National Referral Mechanism, I am saying it is not. I did apply under NRM because this is the only available option, and passed the conclusive ground decision. Then I was granted with 1 year overseas domestic worker visa and renewable for another 1 year. But my 2-year overseas domestic worker visa will expire on December 2021. I know I could no longer extend my visa, and this is my dead end. And I haven't even started to work regularly because of this COVID-19 lockdown. How can this be okay? This is not okay. I am not okay.
End modern slavery of migrant domestic workers. Reinstate pre-2012 Overseas Domestic Worker Visa.
The voice of domestic workers.